It's all recording.
It's going, is it?
Yeah.
Excellent. So first of all, could you just introduce yourself, please, with your name and your title?
Yeah, so I'm Anthony Olasende, and I'm the founder of the anti-knife crime campaign Keep Sheffield Stainless.
Amazing. Anthony, so this idea of, I suppose, helping young people that have been victims of knife crime kind of in hospitals and A&E departments.
Yeah.
What, I suppose, first of all, is your kind of your reaction to that? What do you make to that idea?
Well, I think it's a good idea. I mean, nothing else has been done, so it's a step in the right direction because there's something now and ideas are going around and they're trying new things. But until more things are tried and we're proven what's successful and what's not, I think any idea is a good idea. To be honest with you.
Why do you think particularly those people that have been stabbed in kind of A&E is a good time to kind of pick them up and talk to them about that kind of stuff?
Because just after a stabbing, if it's a young person, they will be feeling very vulnerable. They'll understand the seriousness of what's been happening. It's okay carrying a knife or hanging around with people with knives or whatnot, but as soon as you get stabbed, that means that your life is in danger. So they'll be in hospital, which will make it real. Because they're under 18, they'll have to have an adult with them. So they'll have to explain to the parents or the grandparents or a relative what's happened, and they'll be scared as well. So I think the best time to catch them is when something violent like that has happened to them, because that's the time that they will then be questioning themselves, and they won't be wanting no more trouble, and they won't want it to happen again, we hope.
And is this, do you think about kind of looking at why these kind of things have happened and talking to these young people about kind of the underlying issues of why,
100%, absolutely. For me, I go to the schools and I give the young people the education, the knowledge that they need for them to make a decision. Now, hindsight's a beautiful thing. You talking to someone after they've been stabbed is good, because you know what to say. Well, if you didn't do X, Y, Z, it wouldn't happen. But it doesn't play out like that. We need to talk and discuss with the young people and find out the root cause of it all and stop that from happening, so they don't end up being stabbed. Because waiting until somebody's stabbed, for me, is too risky and it's too late. Because by that time, they'll already have suffered life-threatening injuries, or they might already be dead.
How important is it that we do more to tackle this, do you think? Is there enough kind of being done at the moment?
Do you know what? For me, it's disgusting. I think it's appalling. Absolutely. For 2 years now, knife crime has been headlining, I'd say, once a month, maybe twice a month, for a long time. The amount of stories, the amount of news presenters I've had to discuss the topic with, and still not one major thing has been done. Okay, the police said, increase powers and stopping and searching. But what's that? You haven't got the police there anyway to do more stopping and searching. You don't have the time. For me, nothing's been done, and I think the powers that be that control the country, they should be ashamed of themselves, to be honest.
And is it about trying out new ideas like this, do you think? I know you mentioned that anything that can be done about this, should be tried.
It should be tried, 100%. You've got to understand it. Not every one person's the same. So what about them young people that have got stabbed that don't go to a hospital because they know, if they know now what's going to happen, or if you get stabbed, you're going to go to hospital, you're going to go to A&E, there's going to be a youth worker right there, and they're going to want to talk to you. That might turn some people away. They might just say, look, I don't want to talk about it, because they may be seen as snitching, and if they're in that kind of environment where, they're working for criminals or whatnot, that's a very risky thing, and they put themselves at risk. But I think the idea is good, but there's a million ways to skin a cat, and I think more needs to be tried and tested.
Yeah, I know you kind of mentioned to me that it might be an idea to kind of get hospital staff to kind of be trained to kind of ask.
Yeah. No, it's like anything. It's like any process, If you want a product, the first person you talk to on the phone will be the call handler. So they will then assess what department you go to. So the NHS staff could be trained to ask just simple questions, you know, or are you scared of your life? And then the outcome could then be, okay, then this is a serious matter where we feel it's necessary to forward for a youth worker, then to come and work with that young person. You know, if not, you're just going to have wasting everybody's time by having a youth worker sat in a hospital every single night. It's a waste of resources, it's a waste of money. If they train the NHS staff or the nurses to ask just a few basic questions, fill in a little report, and I know they're pushed for time as well, but it'd be a lot easier that way, and then the person can then get referred to the youth worker and any other services that they need.
And could that be a kind of a way of spotting, you know, the people that are at risk of being victim of this, you know, that have kind of been involved in that kind of thing before?
Of course, because if you get going with a stab wound, you know, I don't know the process, but from when working with young people, you go in, you have a stab wound, the police might be there, they might not be there, you get your injury dealt with and you go away. Now, they should be looking at, well, where was this child from? What area? You know, what's been happening in this area previously? Was somebody else attacked with a knife? Okay then, well, it might be retaliation. If this is happening in the same area, we need to put some more police cars up onto the area to try and sort out what's been happening. You know, I think there's a lot of information that the young people give, which they have to give, but the police should be using it more efficiently and trying to work out what's actually happening.
And is your sense that kind of thing isn't
Nobody. Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's working together. Nobody's working together. Not as they should. If we all worked together and shared our little bit and we all did our little piece, it would be so much easier and it'd be so much consistent, and we could create a process that's watertight that can actually help young people before they end up getting stabbed or attacked. But nobody wants the responsibility. I can ask you now, well, whose responsibility is it? Is it the responsibility of the parents because it's their child? Is it the responsibility of the police because the police should look after them? Is it responsibility of the NHS staff because, well, a young person's been stabbed? Do they tell the mum? Do they tell the parents? Is it the government's responsibility? At the minute, nobody wants to accept responsibility for this that's happening. But soon, somebody's going to have to step up and accept responsibility, and then we can move forward in a positive way.
And this is a pretty urgent issue, isn't it? You know, we're still seeing people being stabbed, especially young people.
Do you know what? It was an issue 2 years ago. You know, I'm not sure what you call an issue that lasts for 2 years. I think that might be described as more of a thorn in the side for some people, unfortunately. But this is what's happened, you know. If they'd have got onto it straight away when there was that spike in knife crime 2 years ago, if they'd have tackled it head on then, worked with the community, worked with schools, worked with the police, the NHS, you know, it would have been tackled. But because nothing's happened, stabbings are normal now. Young people are desensitized to stabbings. Before, 3-4 years ago, if somebody got stabbed, or a young person, especially at a school age, a secondary school age, got stabbed, people would be in shock. People would not know what to do. This is not normal. Jump forward 3-4 years to now, if someone in secondary school gets stabbed, is that normal? Yes, it is.
Anything else you wanted to say at all? Or?
No. I just hope they do something quick because, to be fair, it's unfair. It's disgusting.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much for the chat.
No worries.
Appreciate it. Are you alright to get that recording over to
you? Yeah, I'll send it over to you, yeah.
You got my email address?
Yeah, I've got it from last time.
So, that'll be brilliant. Thank you so much.
Alright then, take it easy, Tara.
Cheers, Annie.
Goodbye.
Thank you, bye.